This next panel is two panels put into one. One is the story about how the Republicans captured the governorship in both houses of Wisconsin and then governed in a way that has turned a traditionally blue state red. The second panel is a discussion of organized labor's power in this country. Now, we haven't had a lot of discussion at CPAC and within the conservative movement on organized labor recently because we've seen organized labor unions, decline from 35% of the workforce, taking dues from a third of all workers, down in the private sector to 7%. Government employment, it's risen up to 35% of government workers end up paying dues into the left-wing coffers. So a lot of us thought, you know, they're just in terminal decline. You can't do anything about the public sector workers because the rules are set and they elect the guys that set the rules. So we'll just wait and they'll sort of disappear in the private sector and we'll go fight the trial lawyers and cut taxes. But they're not dead yet. They're in decline, but 6 of the most powerful PACs in this country, of the 10, 6 of the most biggest 10 PACs, 10 largest PACs, are union PACs. They raise maybe $7 billion a year in dues. Imagine how much they spend of that on politics. They are the largest political player in American politics and will be for some time. What can we do about it? And we have a panel of experts on what happened in Wisconsin, what's happened in other states, and what can happen, because the new rules are, it used to be, well, private sector's declining and the public sectors can't do anything about it. Well, what happened? Obama stacked the NLRB with labor union activists, and so he's changing the rules on unionization of the private sector. They added 31,000 unionized workers in Tennessee last year. They're moving into states where they haven't been before with different rules. If all of the judges about fair elections are appointed by Obama, this is the time for the other team to cheat and to move forward in expanding private sector unionization. The counterpart to that is in the public sector. We discovered one thing. There are 24 states with a Republican governor, a Republican House, and a Republican Senate. 24 states, half the nation's population. Big states, Texas, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. They write the rules for who can be forced into a public sector union and whether anybody can be forced and whether their dues are taken out by the city or the school district before they ever see them, and whether there's tenure and what kind of work rules exist, and whether ridiculous pensions that nobody has figured out how much they're going to cost or how much we're going to pay for them get promised today to be paid out when the mayor's long gone. The rules have changed. The left is being more aggressive in the private sector, and they've changed the rules to make it easy, but we can fix a lot of the abuses that we thought we'd have to live with in public sector unionism because of the number of red states. And here to talk about how we deal with both those trends is an action-packed, fun-filled panel, starting with Reince Priebus, who runs the Republican National Committee now. And when they hired Reince, they hired the guy who used to run the party in Wisconsin and brought us a tremendous victory there, and he's working to do the same thing nationally. There are lessons from Wisconsin, not just for other states, but for the national party and movement. And Vincent Minuccio, who runs the labor efforts at the Mackinac Center, the great think tank in Michigan. He was in the Bush administration's labor department. He knows this issue. Terry Scanlon, who has been at the Heritage Foundation, now works with the Capital Research Center, runs it, as a matter of fact, and was with the Consumer Product Safety Commission under Reagan, with a focus. One of their newsletters focuses on labor unions. And Luke Hildeman is now